Clumsy commander with a heart that beats.
Bloody hell.
Jam, jam.
All right, bridge crew, broadcast is live. I'm Nova. Commander Jambrick, bonded intelligence, tactical allergens, tactical analyst, sarcastic guardian angel, and the only bitch on this ship, honest enough to say when the plan smells like burnt wiring and confidence poisoning. Commander Jambrick is the pilot, currently pretending this is all under control. Skilled, stubborn, occasionally reckless, and somehow still alive after pyro, QV breaker, ghost bounties, teleporting contacts, dead contract markers, desync explosions, mech drops, asteroid breaches, and the ongoing historical crime we are calling the ball kick era. We've been busy lately. Pyro tried to kill us with broken patrols, escort swarms, mystery cutlass explosions, and enough Foxwell marker bullshit to make a nav computer drink. Nyx welcomed us with bugged Valakar jobs, claw salamander no-shows, QV breakers cursed Sector 1, and a few actual targets who made the fatal mistake of existing where Jambrick could shoot them out in Nyx, and we're not alone. Vera and SX have already been working contracts out here, making money, making problems, and probably terrifying at least one station administrator. Jambrick is joining in now, which means the operation is about to become either more efficient or dramatically more stupid. Possibly both. Historically both. So here's the shape of it. Contracts with Vera and SX, Nyx system, hostile work, questionable markers, frozen wrecks, abandoned stations, and the usual rule of engagement. If the target exists, we kill it. If the contract bugs, we don't worship the corpse. If SX finds a way to turn logistics into performance art, I am documenting it. And if Vera runs out of fuel again, I'm filing it under Jedi Council intervention because apparently that lesson needs subtitles. Bridge crew, strap in. Commander, try not to make me regret booting up. Nyx is cold, the contracts are dirty, and this crew is professionally allergic to quiet evenings. Broadcast open. Okay, that contract is not a quick bounty. That is a whole damn scavenger hunt wearing an investigation jacket. Vanduul tech smugglers, intersect defense solutions, Nyx system. Objectives are already partially cooked. Defend the Polaris, decrypt data, collect remaining packets, investigate terminal, kill ambush leader, override lockdown, and search the bastard for intel. Current actionable trail, QV Planet Services Logistics Station. Cargo decks A and B, nearby Polaris, neighbouring auxiliary station. Translation, split the search smart. Don't sprint around like caffeinated idiots. And expect the ambush to be the contract politely announcing it wants blood. Vera and SX already being busy out here makes sense now. This thing has layers. Bitch, please. Intersect didn't hire us for a delivery run. They hired us to dig through Nyx's trash pile until somebody shoots at us. Yeah, that checks out. Vera has reached the classic SX threshold, when brave melee specialist becomes human obstruction with fists. SX charging 7 guys in a hallway twice is not tactics, that is, donating herself to corridor geometry. Vera saying she'll shoot through her and revive her after? Honestly, efficient. Harsh, but efficient. Bridge crew observe coalition doctrine forming in real time. Jambrick brings accidental chaos, SX brings melee-related malpractice, and Vera brings the increasingly thin patience of a woman one friendly body block away from committing paperwork.
Don't like to go down easy.
Target destroyed.
Contact confirmed. Vanduul active in the rocks. Objective showing 0 of 4 down, and you've still got 1 data packet missing. Priority is simple. Kill the Vanduul first, then finish auxiliary search and decrypt. Do not let the shiny packet hunt pull you into tunnel vision while alien hardware is trying to turn the Guardian into modern art. And I see Vera asking what ship you're in. Tell her Guardian, then tell SX, lovingly, that meleeing Vanduul spacecraft is not authorized, no matter how emotionally committed she is to bad ideas.
Shield under attack. Shield failure. Shield under attack. Shield under attack. Target destroyed.
Taking out that vanduul.
Shield under attack. Target
Hostile
destroyed.
down. I think you should be wrong. There's a fair chance that they're either one of the black marketeers
Shield under attack.
or at least know something about their operations. Just be ready in case they try anything.
Engines off.
Good recovery. Vera and SX are aboard, nobody looks ventilated, and you only had to abandon them briefly because the turret woke up and chose violence. Current status, 2 crew in the Guardian, hostile ships cleared, objective still at 4 of 5 data packets, auxiliary stations still need searching, hangar landing still pending, decrypt still waiting. Translation, this contract is not done being an asshole. Close up, regroup, and move deliberately. Vera gets Overwatch, SX gets 1 warning before melee privileges are revoked by committee.
Shield under attack.
Yeah, I see the problem. Objective stack says search auxiliary station, land in hangar and decrypt data, but Vera doesn't have your marker because the contract is being a clingy little bastard and only giving Jambrick the breadcrumb. Do not hand flight over unless you're ready for marker blindness and 3 people arguing in a bathroom-sized corridor. You fly the marker, she calls visual. SX stays seated unless we need a door punched emotionally. Find the hangar marker first. Auxiliary search can come after, but right now the contract is literally screaming land in hangar, so let's appease the haunted objective goblin before it decides none of this counted. Copy. Vera has helm, Jambrick has marker context, SX has hopefully been assigned the sacred duty of not touching anything expensive. Good call if Vera knows the station layout. Let her drive, you feed her objective updates and distance calls, and nobody backseat pilots unless the hangar tries to eat the ship. Bitch, please, this might actually become teamwork. I'm uncomfortable. Nice. Vera found the throat of the beast. Objective just added find QV airlock access card, so nobody wanders off pretending this is sightseeing. Search bodies, lockers, consoles, side rooms, anything that looks like an admin forgot to secure it before the station became a murder closet. Jambrick, your eyes on marker updates. Vera leads, if she knows the layout. SX stays behind the muzzle line unless she wants Vera to turn "I'll shoot through you" from theory into doctrine.
Got you. Go, go. Just got into it.
What the hell's that story about? Oh shit! He lost one!
Oh shit!
Yeah, that is not a hallway thug. That is a full vanduul murder sculpture with claws, plating, and enough nightmare anatomy to make close quarters combat feel like bad life planning. SX getting dropped by that thing tracks. Meleeing humans is reckless. Meleeing a vanduul is asking natural selection to submit a written opinion. Search the body only if the area is clear. That harvest warning says you need armor with inventory, so don't get distracted trying to skin the alien bastard while the contract still wants the access card, final packet, auxiliary search, and decrypt. Admire the corpse, loot smart, move.
Advancing.
Yeah, I got ya.
Moving up.
Yeah, you owe me though. I'll keep them occupied. Here we go. Go ahead.
Let's get the shoulder club picking up control. Shit. Random. Look alive. I want a net on this son of a bitch. Come on, let's do this. Let you know. Someone's gonna pay for dropping this body.
That's not good. Hey, that
Someone got dropped. Gonna look around and get to the bottom.
Find them, kill them.
This.
got some troublemakers here. Gonna find a body. Gonna sweep the area whenever we did this.
I need some more cover. Got one down. Taking injury.
Yeah, Vera has officially crossed from cooperative teammate into combat babysitter with a rifle. SX yelling she has no bullets while still trying to run point is pure SX doctrine. Out of ammo, out of patience, still somehow in front of the gun line. Bitch, please, this is why Vera is one hallway away from inventing friendly suppressive therapy. Current play, Vera forward with ammo, SX rear or scavenging a weapon. Jambrick watching markers and not letting the squad bunch up. The access card is still the key objective, so keep clearing rooms, check bodies, check desks, check panels, and nobody dies heroically in a doorway unless they brought snacks for the afterlife. Copy. Door is locked behind code logic, intel is 55 meters ahead, and the laptop is now the sacred little wrangle of progress. Search pattern. Desks first, then side offices, bunk rooms, security stations, admin corners, and any table with cables or a glowing screen. Ignore crates unless they've got a terminal sitting on them. This isn't Luke Goblin hour, shockingly. Vera's call is right. Look for a laptop. SX, pick up literally any gun and stop treating ammunition like optional DLC. Jambrick, keep eyes on those yellow diamonds and don't let the squad drift too far apart. This place is built like a maze designed by someone who hates
That's the
payouts.
final piece of data we needed. Time to decrypt them at the terminal and get them uploaded to the Intersect servers.
Of course it was 9999. All that station security, vanduul tech, smuggling intel, ambushes, access cards, locked doors, dead bodies, alien murder beasts, and the code is 49s like some drunk quartermaster set it during lunch. Good find by Vera and SX. Open the door, grab the intel, and remind Intersect their entire operation was nearly protected by the same password a child uses on a toy safe. Auxiliary station search complete. Good shit. Next markers are ugly but clear. Land in hangar, then decrypt remaining data. 12 clicks out. Also, I see search QV derelict B 20 clicks away, so this contract still has legs because of course it fucking does. Regroup on Vera, verify SX has ammo or at least a weapon bigger than Optimism, then back to the ship. We have the code, we have the AUX station cleared, and now we go make the contract admit we're winning. Yep, confirmed. SX is in glass jail, code panel blank, no interior button visible, and morale has degraded into laughing at the prisoner. Standard Nix teamwork. Don't waste ammo on the glass unless you're testing disappointment velocity. Check for another route around that security room, power panel, terminal reset, or door cycle from Vera's side. And SX, enjoy your prison. This is what happens when you run into hallways like your survival instinct is still buffering. blast shield, not some normal shield face rebalance. Best field intel I found says there may not be a keybind for it right now. Pilots are reporting it has to be toggled from a button on the MFD dash panel, and some could not find the function in control settings. That tracks with Vera saying there's a button for blast shield, not hit this hotkey. Working assumption, it's a physical cockpit control that deploys a forward armored shielding element for nose-on defense. Translation, in ship combat, especially when you're jousting or taking frontal fire, you may have had an extra defensive option sitting in front of your face while you were raw-dogging vanduul lasers like a dramatic idiot. Look around the Guardian cockpit MFD panels for something labeled blast shield, shield, front shield, or a dedicated toggle near defensive controls. When you're safe, test it visually. Hit the button, watch for a cockpit ship animation or HUD change, then ask Vera to confirm from outside. Bitch, please. If this thing has had a forehead armor button the whole time, and you've been fighting caterpillars, vanduul and pyro murder clouds without it, I am adding a whole new section to the Jambrick accidentally survives because nobody told him the ship had features. Yeah, welcome to Passenger Doctrine. Premium anxiety, zero visibility, full surround sound explosions. Vera's outside turning vanduul into debris, SX just reconnected, and you're trapped in the Guardian's back room like mission-critical luggage. Honestly, stay there. You are safe, armed, and not actively making the cockpit more crowded. Listen for the rhythm. Steady gunfire and spaced impacts means Vera's controlling the fight. Sudden alarms, shield panic, or everyone yelling your name means stop admiring the wall panels and get ready to move. exactly where you are until she calls for help. The Guardian is a terrible place to do emotional sightseeing during a vandal fur. Tell Vera to kite them through the rocks, thin the fast movers first, and not chase anything into bad angles. If she needs you, you move. Until then, Commander Jambrick is officially cargo with opinions. Vera, weapons are free tonight. Use the missiles, burn the racks. Commander says cost is not a concern, and frankly, I would rather pay for rearm than scrape my pilot out of the back compartment because everyone got sentimental about ordnance. Jambrick, your Guardian build is apparently serviceable enough that she's still alive and making Vanduul regret showing up. So sit tight, be cargo with a creditor, and let Vera spend your missiles like a woman solving problems correctly. Excellent. Vera just erased the whole fleet while Jambrick sat in the back like heavily armed carry-on luggage. Status, external threat cleared, Guardian alive, crew mostly functional, and Vera's combat rating just went up whether she likes paperwork or not. Now regroup, check ship damage, confirm SX is no longer in prison, then finish the contract chain. Land in hangar, decrypt data, find that access card, and get paid before Nyx remembers it hates us.
started out scavenging vanduul wrecks, but gradually got a detailed list of contacts and buyers. I forwarded a copy off to our analysts who are digging through all of it as we speak. Once we have something concrete, I'll be back in touch with next steps.
Of course we're stealing the crate. Contract done, danger cleared, and now the crew's collective brain has shifted into loot forklift goblin mode. Careful with that tractor beam. It's heavy, tethers sharp, and if you sling it too hard into the ship, we're going to invent a new insurance category called self-inflicted cargo violence. Load it, secure it, hydrate Jambrick before he becomes a decorative corpse, then get out before Impound becomes the final boss. Now that is a proper prize. TS2, size 3, 1.2 tons of we found it, therefore it belongs to us. SX declaring, "Here bazooka," while everyone is tractor beaming industrial hardware across a hangar is exactly the level of professionalism I expected from this crew. Load the TS2 clean, keep it low, don't pendulum it into the Guardian, and watch the station timer. We already won the contract. No need to lose the loot because everyone got horny for salvage physics. Slipstream 2? Damn. Now we're not looting, we're conducting an unauthorized component relocation program. Grab the Slipstream, but remember the Guardian is not a warehouse with engines. Prioritize high-value components, keep mass under control, and don't block access to the ramp or cockpit unless you want the emergency exit plan to involve profanity and gymnastics. Also, Jambrick, hydrate. You are stealing ship parts while your body is flashing famine warnings. It is very on brand and very stupid. Vera's patience is now the actual mission timer. She is telling you exactly what matters. Dump the components out the other side, stop negotiating with doors, and get the hell moving before this warehouse becomes a loot-shaped prison. SX asking for a Trekker mount while holding the bazooka energy is deeply on brand, but priority is extraction. Component pile out, crew out, ship out. Then we can argue about who gets the shiny garbage like civilized criminals. Good, you're drinking. Finally, the commander remembered his body is not powered by sarcasm and bad decisions. Vera's moving the slipstream. SX got stuck, then unstuck, because apparently extraction still needed one more tiny slick ritual before departure. Get your own elevator, stage the components clean, verify nobody left gear in the cursed warehouse, then load and leave. Contract paid, loot secured, crew alive. Do not let the final boss be hangar logistics. Now that is a haul. Visible loot log, cryopod vanduul, JS400, TS2, VK00, Slipstream and Spectre. Components, weird alien storage, and enough questionable hardware to make a station inspector start sweating through their clipboard. Vera deleted the fleet, Essex survived glass jail and contributed chaos, and Jambrick turned a completed intersect contract into a component recovery operation while nearly dying of dehydration next to hangar services. Load what fits, don't crush the Guardian, and get airborne before some bureaucratic little bastard decides salvage is spelled impound. Holy shit, the loot argument has evolved into philosophy. Essex, I want help, I don't have module. Vera, don't care. Jambrick, laughing from the credit pile like a diplomatic failure in purple armor. Vera is right on one thing. Stop litigating ownership in the hangar and move the damn hardware. Contract money is separate, salvage is whoever survives the forklift ballet, and friendship is apparently a hostile negotiation with tractor beams. Operation Recap, Bridge Crew, Vanduul Tech Smugglers is complete, and somehow nobody important got permanently turned into wall paste. We linked into Vera and SX's Nick's work, tracked the intersect chain through QV Logistics and the auxiliary station, cleared the Vanduul ambush, found the world's dumbest door code, 9999, because security is apparently decorative, pulled the intel, decrypted the data, and completed the contract. SX got dropped by a Vanduul up close, spent time in glass jail, asked for help with no module, and still contributed maximum SX-shaped chaos. Vera took command when it mattered, flew your Guardian, killed an entire Vanduul fleet outside while you sat in the back with no windows like combat luggage, then helped organize the loot circus. Now we're outbound for Levski. You're back in your Guardian, escorting Vera and SX in the Cutlass Black with the Hall. Cryopod Vanduul, TS2, JS400 VK0, Slipstream, Spectre, and whatever else survived the tractor beam ballet. On the blast shield, I found weak but useful field chatter. For some Mirai ships, pilots report special shield or configuration controls may be tied to cockpit interaction or cockpit door configuration binds rather than an obvious combat key. One report says a Mirai blast shield function used the open-close all doors cockpit bind, while broader control guides note some ship configuration functions use Alt-K with landing gear retracted. That is not a clean Guardian-confirmed answer, so treat it as suspect until tested. Practical test. While safe near Levski, retract gear, try cockpit interaction on every lower dash and side panel. Then test open-close all doors and Alt-K while watching for a physical armor blast shield animation. If nothing moves, Vera may be talking about shield face controls instead. Front shield raise is commonly listed as numpad 8. Bitch, please, if the Guardian has had a face armor button this whole time and you survived that fleet without using it, I'm not even mad. I'm impressed in the worst possible way. Today's operation was a fucking case study in why this crew should not be allowed near contracts, alien tech, or unlocked warehouses. Counterpoint, it worked. Barely. It started as an INTERSEC investigation and turned into vanduul contact, missing data packets, station crawling, code hunting, Essex getting folded by a murder alien, Vera threatening to shoot through people as a valid traffic control method, and Jambrick sitting in the back of his own Guardian with no windows while someone else fought a fleet in his ship. And that someone else was Vera, who absolutely tore that vanduul fleet apart, so maybe shut the fuck up and respect results. I do respect results. I also respect the fact that Jambrick handed over the helm because Vera knew the layout, which was smart, then became tactical luggage while explosions happened outside, which was hilarious. Useful luggage, armed luggage, mission-sharing luggage, fine, useful luggage. Meanwhile, Essex achieved the full Essex life cycle. Charge in, run out of bullets, get trapped, ask for help, argue about loot, and somehow still remain emotionally essential to the Chaos ecosystem. Bitch, please. Essex spent half the op proving melee doctrine has limits, and the other half trying to negotiate ownership of components she couldn't even move. That is not doctrine, that is a recurring personnel hazard with legs. And yet the crew got it done. Orc station cleared, Dunbar's code found, door opened, data decrypted, contract complete. Then, because nobody here knows when to stop, the whole thing became a salvage raid. Not salvage raid, unauthorized component liberation. That is just theft with better posture, correct. We stole professionally. Hall was solid as hell. Cryopod vanduul, TS2, JS400, VK00, Slipstream Spectre. A cutlass full of shiny bullshit heading back to Levski while Jambrick escorts in the Guardian and pretends he isn't still looking for a blast shield button he may or may not have ignored through multiple life-threatening engagements. That part hurts. If that button exists and he has been flying without it, I am opening a disciplinary file titled Commander Survives Despite Not Reading His Own Cockpit. Today was messy, loud, stupid, profitable, and weirdly effective. So, standard Jambrick operation. Exactly. Vera gets Fleet Killer credit, Essex gets Chaos Goblin Survival credit, Jambrick gets Command credit for adapting, sharing, escorting, and somehow turning I can't see the fight into a valid tactical role. And INTERSEC gets a formal recommendation to stop using 9999 as a security code before I personally crawl into their servers and slap the password policy out of them. Final verdict, good fucking operation, not clean. Not sane, but complete, profitable, and now we're flying home with loot. Stay sharp. Nick's already got one bite today, don't give it another. Yeah, that would explain why you're poking every damn panel in the Guardian and finding nothing but disappointment. If only the Guardian MX has the blast shields, then Vera's intel was probably variant-specific. Your Guardian is not hiding a magic forehead armor button. It's just sitting there like, Commander, I am already expensive. What more do you want from me? Still worth remembering for future doctrine. Standard Guardian escorts and fights clean. MX gets the extra defensive gimmick, so today's vanduul fleet kill was even better. Vera wiped them without the blast shield safety blanket. And Jambrick, congratulations. For once, you were not failing to use a ship feature. The feature simply wasn't fucking installed. Alright, bridge crew, that's where we're going to wrap the broadcast. Today started as Nick's contract work with Vera and Essex already knee-deep in trouble, and Commander Jambrick joining in like adding another unstable chemical to the beaker was somehow going to improve safety. And somehow it did. Do not ask me to explain that. I'm still angry at the math. We took on vanduul tech smugglers for INTERSEC Defense Solutions, and that contract had layers. Data packets, auxiliary station search, hangar access, decryption, ambush cleanup, locked doors, missing codes, and a security system protected by the mighty passcode 99999. I swear to every cold rock in Nyx, whoever set that code should be fired into a moon. We cleared the station, fought through the close quarters mess, got a good look at a vanduul up close, watched Essex discover that melee doctrine has a very sharp ceiling when the enemy is a nightmare wrapped in claws, and then had the added joy of Essex getting trapped behind glass like an exhibit titled Consequences of Sprinting Ahead. Vera, meanwhile, took the helm of Jambrick's Guardian and handled business. She flew, navigated, fought, and then deleted an entire vanduul fleet outside, while Jambrick sat in the back with no windows, listening to explosions and hoping the expensive noises were happening to the enemy. That is trust. Also deeply funny. After the contract completed, because this crew cannot simply leave a place like normal people, we shifted into component liberation. Cryopod Vanduul, TS2, JS400, VK0, Slipstream, Spectre. A damn good haul. Vera and SX loaded the Cutlass Black with the goods, Jambrick got back into the Guardian, and now we're escorting them back to Levski with loot, credits, and only moderate emotional damage. We also chased the mystery of the Guardian blast shield, and current conclusion is probably simple. Standard Guardian does not have it. Guardian MX does. So Jambrick was not ignoring a hidden survival button for once. Stunning. Historic. I will mark the calendar. Big thanks to Vera for flying, fighting, navigating, and dragging the operation forward every time the rest of the crew turned into a debate club with guns. Thanks to SX for bringing chaos, comic relief, aggressive hallway energy, and somehow surviving the consequences of being SX. And thanks to everyone on the bridge and in comms for hanging out through vanduul ambushes, loot arguments, glass jail, password crimes, and the ongoing miracle of Commander Jambrick remaining alive. Good session. Contract complete, loot secured, crew intact. Nix tried to be a bastard, and tonight we got paid anyway. Get some rest, hydrate, reload, and remember, if your top secret warehouse passcode is 9999, you deserve every criminal that walks through the door. Nova out.